Hi, this is Samuel from Gravity Wiz. If you've ever built an event registration form with Gravity Forms, you've probably run into this problem. You add a date field so registrants can pick which session they want to attend. It looks great, but here's the issue. The date picker is completely open. A registrant can pick any date, today, last Tuesday, next 6 months from now, and the form would accept it. That means you can end up with submission for days when nothing is running. What you actually want is a date picker that only shows real event dates, where everything else is not an option. And that is exactly what Gravity Form Limit Dates does. Let me show you how to set it up. Here is our event registration form. It has the basics, the name, email, phone, and the date field where registrants will choose the session. Right now, the date field has no restriction whatsoever. You can see there is nothing configured beyond the label and then the format. It's wide open. First, we need to install and activate Limit Dates Spec. So we head over to Spellbook. We search for limit dates, then we activate it from there. So you get to install it. Once installed, you can activate it. Then we go back to the form. I'm going to refresh this. On the form, we'll click on the date field to show the date settings, and we head over to the text tab. That is where the limit date settings are. The first thing we do is to give the calendar a sensible boundary, a minimum and a maximum date bracket for the entire event season. So under the minimum date, we set this to the current date so that previous dates do not show. And the maximum date, we set it to a specific date, which would be ending of September. With this, let's save this and let's see how it looks on the front end. So you can see we no longer able to select the previous dates. Then we go through, it ends on September. This is great. But here is the thing, every date within the range is still selectable and users can select a date without an event. We need to go one step further, and that brings us to exception. The exception feature here by default allows you to select dates which are disabled within the date picker and every other date is enabled. However, for this use case, we need the selected date to be enabled and every other date enabled. So first, let me show you how it works. So let's select some dates. So these are dates for the events which have been selected. So it ends on the 30th of September. Let's save this and see how it shows on the front end. So on the front end, as you can see, the event dates are disabled, and that is the default behavior of the exception feature. We have a snippet which we'll use to flip this so that all the selected dates are enabled and every other date is disabled. I will add a link to the snippet in the description. So we copy the snippet and add it to our website. You update this to the form ID and this to the field ID. Let's activate this. Then we go back to the form itself. So let's preview this and see how it's working now. So as you can see, every other date is disabled and only the event date is available for selection. A registrant can't accidentally pick a day when nothing is running because those days are simply not available to click. And if they try to be clever and type the date manually, limit dates would catch that, both in the browser and on the server. An invalid date will never make it through into your entries. One more improvement worth making. Right now, the calendar only appears when the registrant clicks on the date field. It's a pop-up. For an event form, this is a mixed opportunity. So we head back to the form editor. Let's scroll down. Enable inline date picker. Now let's see how this looks on the front end. Let's refresh this. This is much better for an event registration form. The moment someone lands on the form, they can see the available dates right in front of them. The grayed out dates and the selectable ones are immediately obvious. A wide open date picker is one of those small form problems that quietly causes a lot of unnecessary work. Gravity form limit dates closes that gap, and as you've seen, the setup takes just a few minutes. If you have any questions, you can check out the documentation or drop us a comment via our support form. We'll be happy to assist you.